Welcome back. I forgot to tell you a couple of things about your canvas yesterday when we were discussing our edit panels and our canvas and all of those things. So I wanted to make sure that you guys knew a couple of other things before we get into our layers panel. The canvas, this that I'm about to show you, only works in the new canvas. It does not work in the classic canvas. It has to be in the new. But if you are working in a project and you realize you want to use something that you had in another project, we weren't able to combine them, but now we can. Again, you have to be in the new canvas for this to work. If you go to the top of your window, I'm in a recording so you can't see my other screen, but this is at the top of my other screen. And if you click on the word file and then new window, you're allowed to have multiple windows open. So if you have 2 or 3 machines, you can change them and work in several machines. Okay, that's one little thing I forgot to tell you. So if you want to work with multiple machines, you can just open up a second window and make sure that you're sending the correct project to the correct machine when you're working that way. But down here I have a shape. I've already done all of this work over here in this canvas, and this may happen to you. You may have a card that you've worked on and you've done some slicing and welding, and you know that you had a shape that you had done from another project that you want to use. You can open up that second window and open that project, and you can see this was 2 different pieces, and the chances of me lining them up and sizing them and welding them back together perfectly are slim and none, unless you can remember exactly what you did when you did that project. I can come over here and right click and copy, and I can come to the other project that I worked on where I have all of my other stuff laid out and paste. And now I can put that object in there. We weren't allowed to do that, and you still can't do it in the classic canvas, but now you do have that option there. So I wanted to make sure that you guys knew that you could do that. I'm just going to close this. I don't want to save it. I'm just going to quit. I just wanted you to be sure that you knew that you had that option available to you. All right, so let's go ahead and dive into our layers panel. And I put some objects in here just so that you could see them and we would have some stuff to look at. Right here you can see at the top you have layers and you have color sync. Then we have what we call group, ungroup, duplicate, and delete. We all know what delete does. If you select an image and you click delete, it's going to get rid of it. Okay, I'm going to undo that. I'm going to try to undo that. If it's going to let me, this is why I don't like the new canvas. It still has some hang-ups. They're still working on it. I'm just going to go and open up this project again because we're going to need that here in a moment. I don't need that other piece that I added. So that's what delete does. It deletes. Duplicate, just what it says, it duplicates. You can also right click, duplicate, delete, move it forward. You have those tools there as well. And then you also have your X on your handles. So several ways to delete, several ways to duplicate. Then you have group and ungroup, and you can see that they're grayed out. You have to have at least 2 layers selected to group or to ungroup. Okay, you have to be able to do those. Okay, and I'm going to show you why here in just a moment. Like this one, you see that it comes in grouped. If I want to resize that smaller or larger, that's going to keep it all grouped together, so each one of the 4 layers in there will size proportionately together. Okay, but when I hit make it and I send it over to the mat, you can see that one piece is here, one piece is here, one piece is here, and one piece is here. It does not, I'm going to come over here and cancel that. My little, oh, I hit continue. I have a little icon and it's in my way. Yes, I want to cancel. There we go. I'll get it in just a second. There we go. Got that icon in my way. All right, so that's what it does. It's not going to do anything except hold it together in the canvas. And I like to refer to that as a gem clip. You've got it gem clipped together, and then you can carry it over to your mat and just take the gem clip off and separate it out like it needs to be for cutting. But what happens if we, and I'm just going to hide this image for now. There we go. With these images, if I group them together and we hit make it, you're going to see the same thing happen. It's still going to keep them in separate colors and bring them all over to that mat. I'm just going to shrink my window up a little bit. So there we go. And bring it back. We can just ungroup it. It's the same thing. The only reason that you would really want to group is just to have them together and move them around on the canvas together and to size them so that they stay proportionate together. That's it. It does nothing else. It has no other purpose, okay, other than to keep some pieces of your design together for you. So that's your paper clip, and that's what that does. And we're going to get into more of these down here in a moment, but I'm just going to ungroup and show you that. So those are all of what happens on that top layers panel. These down here are going to play in with that group and ungroup, but I am doing a separate video for you guys on those because they warrant a separate video, just so that you can refer back to it later and not have to watch everything else that you did remember. The other little tidbit at the top of this layers panel is the color sync. What does it do? Now I can sit here and I can click on this and I can come up here and I can find the color that's in my panel and I can change it, or I can drag these in and make everything one color at one time. So if you have a lot of stuff and it has several layers and you want everything to be the same color, cut on the same mat, if you have several pieces for a piece of vinyl, you can color sync it together just like that. And that's all that that tool does. So that concludes the top half of our layers panel, and we're going to move in and dive over into our slice, weld, attach, and flatten, and then we're going to save contour for another video. So I'll see you on the next one.